You ready?
Stimulating talk.
Ooh.
Feeling stimulated yet?
No.
Jeff Kuhner on the voice of Boston, WRKO.
But I believe you're going to see over time, he's going to have a greater appreciation that this is a city of institutions, and you must engage them as institutions.
124 here on the great RKO. Okay, an incredible interview with former chief strategist Steve Bannon. Incredibly honest, forthright, really just, you want to talk about just spilling the beans. He spilled everything in that interview, or most of everything. And as Bannon laid out, he thinks Trump made a very big mistake. Is that as a businessman, you just heard a little bit of the cut, he still believes in personalities. That if you get along with Comey, you can take care of the FBI. If you get along with Ryan and McConnell, you can deal with the Republicans on Capitol Hill. If you deal with Reince Priebus, you can take care of the GOP establishment. And instead, as Bannon rightly notes, the powerful institutional forces in Washington are out to destroy him. Roll it, Brittany.
What I have received from you in this conversation is Donald Trump, you believe, is a historic figure. You believe that Donald Trump, has been without criticism. And I don't believe you're the kind of person that doesn't give him the same kind of criticism.
It's not without criticism.
And you haven't made that criticism.
I think if there's one criticism or one observation, is that the president, in coming here, right, has still thought, at least in the beginning of his administration, that it's about personalities. And if I can change this personality, or if I can get this guy on my side, I can do that. And it's not what the institutional logic is. I think some of that was with the FBI and others in the State Department and how his foreign policy is playing out. But I believe you're going to see over time, he's going to have a greater appreciation that this is a city of institutions. And you must engage them as institutions, not just as personalities.
Does that mean he'll be more?
Bingo. And I got to tell you, my sense was, as I'm watching this interview, I'm like, what an asset. What an asset. And having him essentially leave the White House, I think is going to be a big blow to Trump. It's almost like his right arm was cut off because he's dead on. In fact, listen to him. Tell Charlie Rose. Charlie Rose like, well, how dare he go on Twitter? And Bannon is brilliant, saying, look, so what? Because you guys don't deem it appropriate what he says on Twitter, all of a sudden now the president should go on Twitter? And listen to Charlie Rose saying, but it's not in the president's best interest. Listen to Bannon's brilliant, combative response.
I think what he does on Twitter is extraordinary. He disintermediates the media. He goes above their head and talks directly to the American people.
It's not a question of going over the head of the media. It's what he says.
It's what he says. No, it's what he says that you deem that the mainstream media, the pearl clutching mainstream media, the pearl clutching mainstream media, what they deem is not correct. What they deem is not right.
No, it's not a question of being right or not right. It's a question
what's appropriate.
It's not a question of appropriateness.
It's what you deem is.
It's a question of whether it's in his interest. That's the point.
I think
not the appropriateness of it.
Okay, I don't think he needs the Washington Post and the New York Times and CBS News, and I don't believe he thinks that they're looking out for what's in his best interest. Okay, he's not going to believe that. I don't believe that, and you don't believe that. Okay.
He destroyed him. He's completely right. Yeah, right, Charlie. Like, you have Trump's best interests in mind, get lost. The New York Times, you have Trump's best interests in mind, get lost. The Washington Post, you have Trump's interests in mind, get lost. The guy is a street fighter. He's a brawler. He's a no-holds-barred, just give it to him with both barrels. He's a guy you want in your corner. The more I saw of the interview, the more I kept saying, oh, my God, bring him back. Carlos Hernandez, you're up next. Go ahead, Carlos.
Hey, Jeff. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. Jeff, look, I've supported Trump from day one. Actually, I knew about Trump for quite some time. In regards to it, I understand where he's going. I understand exactly what in the world we're going to have to do to actually try to drain this damn swamp, because I am tired of. I am running for office, as you already know. I am running for Congress against Seth Moulton. Look, I've already been called a racist just because I'm fighting for what's right for America and the country and our state. Because actually, I don't want our state to be a sanctuary state. And I was interviewed by some reporter who basically asked me if I was a racist. But the thing is, they don't realize I'm a guy that fights back too. And immediately I asked them, are you a racist? Why in the world you asking me that dumb question? The interview ended, by the way.
Carlos, when you hear Bannon, what was your reaction when you saw that 60 Minutes interview? Were you like me thinking, boy, he should go right back into that White House?
He's doing the right thing. I think one of the reasons he got out of there is mainly because he needs to help Trump to actually accomplish what he wants to accomplish. Because in regards to it, he is fighting. He basically, the change have been unleashed for him to be able to fight for what Trump is trying to do. Now, the Republican Party right now, not just the Republican, the whole establishment, the deep state is basically trying to destroy everything that Trump is trying to do. And this has got to stop. Our nation's in trouble. If we don't get basically what Trump starts being able to do and trying to actually bring our country back to what we were founded on, we're in trouble. We're done. We're cooked.
Carlos, thank you very much for that call. So what you're saying is you think he's going to be more effective on the outside than on the inside. Well, I just got to tell you this. He destroyed Charlie Rose. Ay, ay, ay. He took him apart.